Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you how to apply acrylic from start to finish on a practice finger. First, you want to take your file and remove the shine from the natural nail, or in this case, the practice finger. I recommend a grit of 180 or higher so that you're gentle on the natural nail if it's on a real person. Now you're going to take a lint-free wipe and remove all of the dust and debris from the nail. Now you want to fit your nail tip to the nail, making sure that it fits from sidewall to sidewall. You don't want to press down too hard to make it fit because it might pop off. Now you're going to take your glue and you want to use a small amount and apply it to the tip. Using gentle pressure, press it down to the nail and hold for about 10 seconds. Now you want to clip your nail tip with the tip cutters. And now I'm going in with my file to shape the nail tip. Make sure that you file evenly with the pressure evenly distributed when you're filing the nail. To get that crisp shape, you want to file up and down on the tip, like that. Now I'm going in with my Young Nails cross-cut diamond bit and I'm just blending the nail tip to the nail. That way it'll help the acrylic apply smoother during application. You want to make sure to not dig into the natural nail plate. Hold it parallel like I'm doing. I'm going to be using my Coarse clear acrylic powder from Young Nails. And I'm using the Tammy Taylor flat Kolinsky brush. It's a size 6, it's small. It's actually really good for if you're doing acrylic toes, but I really like it for odorless monomer because it holds less monomer in the brush. Now I'm just prepping the brush. I submersed it into the monomer. I wiggled it around to get the bubbles out, and now I'm kind of rolling the brush around to make sure everything is out of the brush before I go in. Okay, so now I'm dipping into the acrylic, and you want the ball or the pearl to look snowy. You're going to work with the acrylic a little bit differently than regular monomer. You want to work with it more dry. Give the acrylic a minute or a few seconds to polymerize. See how it's getting glossy? I wiped my brush and now I'm tapping, lightly tapping. You don't want to work odorless monomer too much. I'm patting down the sidewalls to make sure I don't lose my shape. Anytime that acrylic sticks to your brush like it just did, you want to wipe the brush. Lightly brushing down. I'm constantly wiping my brush. Going in for another bead. Wiping my brush. I'm lightly patting the bead and wiping my sidewalls. Patting it down towards the tip. Now I'm turning my brush around and I'm going to blend the second bead in up with the first bead so it's smooth. Wiping my sidewalls again. Doing this is going to help you when you're finished filing at the end. If you have a nice application, it's gonna be a lot easier when you finish file the nail. Going in for another bead. I tap the brush sometimes because it releases a little bit of monomer into the bead. Now with this bead, I'm going to push it up a little bit closer to the cuticle and then drag the brush down, smoothing it out. Making sure it doesn't get onto the skin, even though it's plastic. Looking at it from the side. Always look at the nail from different angles to make sure that you've gotten it everywhere you want it and that it's smooth and no lumps or bumps. Now going in with the cuticle bead. On this bead, I'm actually going to drain my brush out a little bit on the paper towel because I don't want it running into the cuticle. I set it down, wipe my brush, and now I'm going to push it up a little bit closer to the cuticle. And you want to leave like a hairline space between the acrylic and the cuticle. That prevents lifting when there's that little hairline space so that no water can get up under the nail. And also for women, when we're washing our hair, so it doesn't get it caught underneath that part. And that causes lifting as well. Now there's a little piece of glitter in there, so I had to get it out. Patting and using gentle strokes to blend out the acrylic. Now I'm looking at it from the side, making sure it has an apex. Going in with another little bead because I noticed that some was missing. I wanted it to be a little bit thicker in that area. Lightly patting, wiping my brush. And make sure that you hold the nail downward so that the acrylic flows downward at all times. Blending the acrylic up so it's nice and smooth. Now after waiting for 10 minutes, I'm going to click on the nail, and when you hear the clicking sound, you know it's dry. Right here you can see the nail is not too shiny. That means my liquid to powder ratio was good. If it's too sticky and shiny and wet at the top after 10 minutes, you know you used too wet of beads. Now I'm going in with a coarse bit and I am just smoothing out the nail and balancing my pinky on my other hand so that I don't lose balance. Okay, so again, I'm just filing around the cuticle so that it's flush. And what flush means is that you want the the acrylic to look like it's growing out of the nail naturally. You don't want there to be a big ledge there. Now I'm filing down the center, looking at how I want the apex to look. I'm filing up and down. You see that apex looks really good there. Really good shape. Now I'm taking my file and just sharpening up the shape. We already shaped it before when we put on our tips, and then we kept the shape when we laid our acrylic and we cleaned up those sidewalls. So this part is very simple. We're just sharpening it up. Now I'm going underneath the tip. You want to make sure you do this so that it looks like it's naturally coming out of the sidewalls. You don't want it to go down. Now I'm going to be smoothing out the nail by filing upwards, around, and down the nail so that you keep your apex. You do not want to file flat at this process. So up, around, and then back down. Filing towards the cuticle, and then I'm going to look down the barrel of the nail and smooth it out from cuticle to free edge. Now I'm filing the tip, going up and down so that it gets it really nice and crisp. And now I'm filing up and down in this direction, again, so it keeps it crisp. Now I'm spraying off the nail with alcohol, and I'm wiping it with a lint-free wipe. It's really important to thoroughly wipe the nail so that you get all of the dust off, because when you go in with your gel top coat, it'll leave little bumps. Now I'm applying the gel top coat. Balance your pinky on your other hand and make sure that you push the gel top coat towards the cuticle and then bring it down so that you don't touch the cuticle, or that will cause lifting. Make sure you cap the tip, and then I wipe both sides of the nail, the tip and underneath, so that it keeps my shape sharp and crisp. Now I'm curing for 60 seconds. Spraying again with alcohol to get the sticky inhibition layer that the gel left behind. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching. All of the products that I've used will be listed in the description box below. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. And if you have any suggestions of videos that you would like to see from me, again, leave it in the comment section below. I hope you guys try this out. Working with odorless monomer is not as hard as everybody thinks. Once you get the hang of it, it gets easier with time. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe.